All right, welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is January 10th, 2024. I'm your host, Luis Palacios, with my co-host, Chris.
Yo, 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 it's your boy. Yeah, we back at it. We back at it. A lot of exciting news.
Oh, man, I think today has been exciting for everybody in a lot of different ways, but I don't know if exciting is also the right word for the very first time. Anyways, thank you very much for the subscription there, brother. Going in for the 40 months, brother. Almost close to that. But anyways, yeah, holy Jesus, it's been a week for sure. Some ups and downs, or like my friends at the Rantable chat that says, shout out to them, of course. They say studs and duds, some stuff, some good stuff and some bad stuff. We'll definitely talk about that in a moment. But how's your week fully been, Chris?
It's been a great week. A lot of working, but not as much as the last week, so we're good.
I know, right?
Yeah. Looking forward to a little vacation coming up. So that's gonna be fun. Get to see the girl up north. Get some fun Pokemon up there. Maybe get snow in Pokemon Go. What? Good time to use the Meltan box. But yeah, other than that, not too much. A lot of fun events, a lot of new news. So definitely excited for the game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, how have you been, man?
It's been an okay week. I mean, going back to work after, like holidays and all that has been crazy, but hasn't been too bad. I've been in normal days. I think just knowing that everything is okay is fine, So that's how my life is, just game and work. That's all I do. Anyways, we're here once again to talk about Pokemon Go news, updates, and ranting about the game, just because we love the game just as much as we do. And you do. And everybody else around here. Don't forget to check us out, professornetwork.com/Purified podcast. Wonderful people to work with every single time. I think they'll be live like an hour and a half after this podcast ends. So, or at least an hour and a half after this tweet or something. I don't know. They go live at 10:30. So if we go rate them, that'd be a cool thing. But I don't think we're gonna talk for an hour and a half, depending on how it goes. But yeah, check them out. Thank you so much. So we got actually a lot to recap real quick. Definitely have to recap the Odyssey. What's the name of the event again? Odyssey something. Luxurious Odyssey. There we go. Luxurious Odyssey. Just came and went, just like we talked.
I was like, you got me there. I don't remember.
The release of Dustform Rockruff has been an interesting adventure. We'll talk about that, exactly how it works and how we definitely would be doing if we had the chance to really see it. And then after that, we have, what is it? We had Raid Hour, we had Spotlight Hours. We had a Spotlight Eevee. We had a thunderstorm coming this way, but then it kind of disappeared like 5 minutes after this happened.
Definitely had some rain.
Yeah. It's been a warm and hot days, and also some cold and freezing days for some reason. But I don't know. That's how it has been for us, at least when it comes to the game. So it got one of those. Sorry for the computer sounds. My computer decides to start updating shit. But so,
it's angry.
Anyways, but yeah, so let's recap real quick the Luxurious Odyssey event that everybody super hype about and everything. So we knew that Dustform Lycanroc was going to be a thing. Now, we knew by the blog post that they said that only the ones that are from the event are the ones that were going to be the ones that can evolve. Now, this mechanic technically mirrors the main series games in the anime. So it kind of makes sense that only a few certain ones can evolve into that. However, of course, the community is like, oh, why can't I just evolve the ones that I already have? I did all this race, I did all this shinies. Why can't I just go ahead and do that? Yada, 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 So definitely kind of like, I can understand at least, that part, because most of the time we just get handed the shiny and the form and whatever. And, we're happy about it, However,
yeah,
I kind of see it like it's actually like a good grind, because it doesn't all have to be special, If everything's special, nothing's special, So
and when everyone's special,
no one
will
be. I know, right? Copyright right there, guys. Anyways, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things in the other day. So it was kind of like interesting. Now, we didn't know how to pinpoint the Rockruff until recently, actually. Well, actually, it was like maybe a day or so after the event started. And interesting enough, in the Game Master, because we can talk about that now that the event has ended. In the Game Master, Rockruff had a change in their forms in the way they said it was, I think, Rockruff normal and then Rockruff special or something like that. So it was like two different types of Rockruff, even though they had the same stats and everything. So the game recognized that, and when you, let's say, you see a Rockruff from a raid, you actually see the silhouette. So it was like kind of like a custom kind of deal, you know?
Yes.
But after you did the raid, technically you already got them, and that was the change over to the new one. And Chris here hatching eggs. So it was kind of interesting. So we had the chance to get Dust Form Lycanroc through the raids, the eggs, the research. When it comes down to it, it was kind of like, luck of the draw if you actually get the Dust Form. However, though, there has been somewhat of a discovery. I don't know if it's still going to go because we just ended it. Where Rockruff was actually appearing in raids in Campfire. However, Campfire also had, the change to the in-game part of Rockruff. So like the code and everything. So the Rockruff that appear on Campfire would not have his technical silhouette or picture on it. And we technically knew it was a dust form. This was fully confirmed by the community that Rockruff from those specific raids from Campfire were actually dust form. And it was fun. It was cool because that way we can pinpoint a little bit. However, they were incredibly rare. You can pretty much see maybe 2, 3 in the big city because you had to actually go the entire city for that. And trust me to say, it wasn't easy to actually go around the entire city to actually find one Rockruff that wasn't, from the Campfire picture and all that. So
especially between the whole 1-star egg pool, not even counting all the other different kinds of raids there were.
Right. So we tested out. It was cool. We called out as much as we can. We no, Drowsy finally got to me. We tested it out with the community, and the community actually pulled through. We knew we were able to get a few dust form like a Rockruff ready to go to maybe trade or something like that. And maybe if we get the Hondo, that'd be amazing. But people posting their Shandos or Hondos, however, there's sometimes that were not actually the ones. So yeah, and I got a cool story about that actually.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, I know, right? So I was driving back to my parents, and somebody invited me to a Rockruff. I kind of knew that it was dusk because we actually called it out before I started driving, and then by the time I was almost like at the end too, but I was still technically in the highway. So right before like the red stop or something, they invited me to the raid. I was kind of like going somewhat slow. It wasn't like super slow. Also, guys, don't play Pokemon Go in that and drive to just fair warning. But I joined the raid and I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna get into this raid because of the speed limit cap and all that. However, it actually let me do it, so I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'll go ahead and do it, and that's fine. I should have not done it. So the raid ends. We get to the encounter screen, and I see the shiny dust form Rockruff, and I'm just like freaking out because at that point I was already going faster than usual for the speed cap. So even if I would have tried to give it berries or Pokeball or Premier Balls or something, it would not stay in the ball. I gave maybe around 5 or so, and I was like, okay, there's a good chance the raid ended, but it's also a good chance it hasn't. If you don't know what I'm saying, is basically if you actually get out of the raid and rejoin the raid, when you're technically stopped, the speed limit cap actually changes back because you're saying, so I was at a red light. I was actually at my exit by the time it actually happened. So I get exit the raid, encounter, and try to go back in. I do see that it's actually in the nearby, remote raid thing. It takes me to the gym, and the encounter is gone. Shiny dust form like a Rockruff was a full fail for me after that.
I was under the impression once you slowed down and it like took a minute that it
Yeah,
would
but I
let you
was
catch up then.
I don't know if it takes
Like
a
without
sec.
having to click off of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not sure how long it really takes for the
Yeah,
speed limit
I got
Rika
no
to
idea.
capture, especially because technically I think the game still recognizes that you're like farther away than you would have been when you're doing the raid, especially the remote. So when you reset the encounter, when you're able to reset the encounter, it puts you into a new spot, and then you just gotta go back in, meaning that you know that you're gonna be able to actually do the encounter again.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I actually saw the post or when we called that out that raid. If I would have been out of the encounter maybe 1 minute earlier, I would have been able to re-encounter it. But during that exact moment that I actually exited, the raid ended. That exact second. So I was like, ugh, that killed me. My cousin was with me, and I cried a couple of tears on that one for sure. I reached out to Niantic, at least on Twitter, on support, Niantic support. They were nice enough to at least refund me the remote raid. So I got another remote raid pass in my inventory for that. So I'm still crying about that even today, guys. It's like it happens what it is. I mean, it's part of the game. You lose some, you win some. It would have been cool to actually have the dust form like in Rock at this point and not have to worry about it for the future. But it is what it is. That's my fail stat of the week for sure. Shout out to the chat that Rentable chat and all that. But yeah, that's basically my story. Will I eventually get it? Probably. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pinpoint them anymore, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. And so, with that being said, let's really do our recaps. Chris, what did you got this week?
Let's see. It's been a good week. Went to Universal for a few of my little goodies. But I think it all started with the last batch of eggs from the New Year's event. I finally hatched shiny, and it was the same one you got. I got Igglybuff out of my last batch, so I thought that was kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. For Rowlet, I was able to get 4 shinies, 1 shiny during the actual comp day, and then 3 shinies from the Dartrix raids.
Okay.
So that was nice. I did I want to say, I did a guaranteed lucky trade with my friend Andrew for a shiny Zapdos. It was all right. 14, 12, 12, or 14, 13, 13 actually.
Okay.
So that was cool. I got another shiny Shadow at Universal. I got a shiny Shadow Sableye. Cool one. Bad IVs. Other than that, it's just been going around trying to get cool shadows. I don't think I've gotten anything too much of note other than that. Other than just evolving a few Decidueye for the different leagues. I think I pretty much just have one for each league though, and I don't even know the IVs of them.
Nice. That's a pretty good haul, I guess. When it comes down there. It could have been more, but your storage is always crying anyway.
Better than nothing for sure. I know the Sableye definitely caught my eye though.
Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Where do I start? I guess most of the shinies that I actually got was community day Rowlets. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So actually a lot more than I expected to be. And I wasn't really playing the entire day. Again, I was with my cousin, so we were trying to just get things done. We got hungry at the last hour. We're like, okay, well, whatever. So the last one actually was an Eevee from from today, actually, right after we left. I clicked on an Eevee on my way home, and it was shiny. So I got a shiny Eevee again. It wasn't, the custom one, so I cried tears again. As for Hondos, just the Boswell, so really no Hondos after that. I started out good the year, and then after that it kind of like plummeted. So no more Hondos after that. So it is what it is. Did I get anything good for PvP? I don't think so, really. I did get a couple dust form rock rough, so I bought the best one I have just because, again, it's nice. Also, actually, I forgot to mention, dust form Lycan rock can only be evolved at dusk, so only for the times of like 4 to 6, I believe, is the evolution time. So
I think that's right. Because I did evolve one of my dusk forms like right after I caught it.
yeah, so it was one of those things in the end of the day. Still crying about the shiny, but it is what it is. You can't win them all, you can't win them all. That's the kind of attitude we gotta do. Is like at least Niantic was like happy enough to give me the remote pass back, so I'm kind of happy about that. At least it wasn't a total loss, but still a loss in between at the end. And yeah, I think that's the it on recaps. I think we actually covered most of what we happened last week, but we got some very exciting news this week. Very, very, very cool stuff happening in the next month or so for Pokemon Go, and hopefully some cool stuff here and there. So let's get started. Chris, how about the very first thing out there?
All right. Ooh. Yeah, for all the fancy people.
Mm-hmm.
So the avatar items from the Fendi X, I don't know how you pronounce this one, but FRGMT, Fragment, I don't know, X Pokemon collection are coming to Pokemon Go. For those of you that haven't been on Twitter and everything, Dragonite is like the main go-to Pokemon for this design. Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite. There's been a lot of clothing and like actual real life and everything, and that's really cool. And they say to celebrate the Year of the Dragon, avatar items based on the Fendi Fragment and Pokemon collection. I know I'm butchering it. Will be available to trainers around the globe. You can actually use the code. I'd recommend looking it up on Twitter, Fendi X Pokemon, and you'll probably find a link to it.
Yeah, you can actually find that like even on Google at this point,
Yeah, and if you put it in, you get an exclusive collab hoodie for your avatar. I've already put it in. You literally just go to the shop and you scroll all the way down to promos and you put in the code. And that's how you get it. You get a hat and a t-shirt. It'll be available all the way until next year, which is kind of crazy, at January 4th, 2025. But I will say put it in sooner than later, because just like me, you will forget it. I forgot plenty of promo cards in like Sword and Shield and
they
Scarlet
forgot. Yeah, I know, right? They forget about it. I remember actually getting the feature stuff. Oh, there's the sponsor one. Yeah, the hoodie is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they definitely look really nice. If you're a Dragonite fan, this is awesome. The hat is really good design too. Honestly, I kind of skipped over it.
Which of I don't see my hat, even though I redeemed the whole code. All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I still gotta say that it's still pretty cool.
Oh, I think I see what it is. I think you get the shirt for free.
Oh, but you only get the hats
or you get the hoodie. Yeah, you get the hoodie for free. Sorry, but I don't know how I skipped over this part. But special Fendi sponsored Pokestops will be available at select participating Fendi retail and pop up locations, and you have to spin them for the hat and t-shirt. So those are going to be pretty rare.
Yeah,
I don't know how I missed that. Oh my gosh.
Still, the regular hoodie is actually pretty good anyways, the one that we have here. So
yeah, I do like hoodies.
It looks like the hat is more exclusive to the spin anyways, but still. Collaboration with Pokemon and Pokemon Company and all the other stuff is kind of cool. I'm like glad that Pokemon Go still has this kind of special moments when it comes down to it. So same time, I think if you go to the actual website to buy the real life hoodies and all that stuff, bro, some things are like way overpriced.
Yeah, I overpriced. No, well worth it.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely
think I'm not, taking a mortgage just to get that.
yeah. It kind of makes me think of like Supreme,
Yeah.
kind of like that name recognition.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everyone, but yeah, if you like it, go for it.
It is how it is. All right. With that being said, let's move on to the next piece of news here. We have a brand new event called the Dazzling Dream event. Shines ahead into Pokemon Go. So, brand new kind of fairy type appearance kind of event kind of deal.
Yeah,
So,
not gonna lie, I thought this already started just because of how many we've been seeing.
right, definitely. So when is this happening? Saturday, January 13 at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, January 16 at 8 p.m. local time. The feature for this event will be, or the feature bonuses for this event, sorry. We have 2 times Stardust for catching Pokemons, which is nice. And 2 times Stardust for hatching Pokemons, which is another nice. Remember, you get, I think the very first day, the very first catch of the day gives you like 3 times Stardust and experience. So combined with this, that's like nice. Then the following wild encounters will be appearing. Also, for the very first time, shiny Cutiefly will be available if you're lucky. We're also gonna have the appearance of Flabebe once again, a little more spawns out there. I kind of wish I want to get the hundo of this for no matter what. So it's actually a really good Master League Pokemon if you actually look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like the fact that it's not a pseudo or anything. It is honestly really strong in like every Pokemon game.
So just to make sure you guys know, and sorry for the little mints that I'm crunching on right now. So Red Flower Flabebe will appear in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. The blue one is going to appear in Asia Pacific region, and of course we get the yellow one. If you're lucky, the white one and orange will appear no matter what region you are. This is standard. We knew about this kind of thing. Unfortunately, shiny is not available for that, but you know what it is. So, encounters. Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Meryl, no. Snubbull, Cottonee, the Flabebes in each of the region. Spritzy, Swirlex, Dedenne, Cutiefly with the Rainy Shiny, and Moral. If you're lucky, some people may encounter a Togetic and the other Flabebes that we mentioned that are lucky around the world. So, kind of a diverse pool, mostly fairy types. If you really want to get in on your fairy type metal, this is the kind of the event for that. So, and of course, the grind for a couple of shinies. I know the Dedenne is actually a fan favorite out there, but Moral is definitely another one that everybody wants right now. So, it is how it is. Eggs. So 7K eggs will be also have a little shakeup. Note the Cutiefly hatch from the eggs will have a greater chance of being shiny than those in the wild. That is a lie. But anyways, Togepi, Spritzy, Swirlix, and Cutiefly will be available. So very small pool if you're still looking for a couple of shinies here and there. I would still wouldn't suggest really getting it. That's my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, it's not bad, but really the only boosted quote-unquote odds are between Togepi and Cutiefly.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I'd like a shiny Swirlix, but I don't know. It's not as good of odds as when it was all the baby Pokemon, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely.
In my eyes.
Then we have Field Research Stacks Encounters. The following ones will be appearing in Field Research: Alolan Vulpix, Spritzy, Swirlix, and Cutiefly. Some trainers may even find some Mawile and Carbon ones. That's actually pretty hyped. And if you actually are lucky enough, you get some Egg Energy from Mega Gardevoir and Mega Altaria. So that's actually a really good stack. Field Research for sure.
Yeah. I think all the research looks really hype right now. We just gotta see what the tasks are.
Yeah, Mawile for me is still kind of like a Shando chase. I do have the Hundo from previous Go Fest and all that stuff. But the Mawile, I'm definitely looking to be a Shando just because, Mega. Although Carbine, I'm hoping maybe they'll give us Diancie Mega Energy if we catch the Carbine. That would be nice. But they're not.
That's a small possibility.
It is, but that's because we actually haven't seen a wild Carbine or a Carbine since the event. So
yes, it has been in GBL though.
Oh, okay. Fair. Have you gotten anything?
Yeah, I've gotten a few Carbine from GBL.
Not what I'm saying, Mega Energy though.
Oh, Mega Energy? I don't believe so.
Okay. Well,
I haven't been paying that close attention, but I don't believe so.
Yeah. Collection challenges are coming. Completed to get experience, Stardust, and encounter with a carving. They would make that shiny. That would be better. New avatar item. The Cutiefly mask looks so freaking weird.
That is scary.
If you think Halloween had ended, this is not. We're still going, brother.
That's my sleep paralysis demon right now.
Yeah.
The backpack pixels are kind of weird too, but
Just backpack though. And then a pay time research for $2. It gives you battle passes, experience, Stardust, star pieces, and encounters with eventing Pokemon. So, yeah,
that's a fair $2 right there.
definitely. So, Dazzling Dream event. See, it's pretty cool. Now, I do want to note something. The last few events has started on a Saturday, which, surprisingly enough, it's a lot better than a Thursday or even a Wednesday start date. Why? Because people actually have the time to play the event or the beginning of the event during the weekend more than during the week. And because, sometimes we get into the end of the week and we're like, oh, this event is ending, this Tuesday or something. Kind of makes sense. They're nice and sweet, short and sweet. At best we have, 4 or 5 days of this event. And by the time it actually really ends, you got another one coming around. So, although the wild spawns in the season event is actually pretty good anyway. So, we saw a wild Metagross the other day.
Yeah,
98.
Yeah, wild 98 Metagross. Pure Letter was like, man, if that was the Hundo, and I was like, hey man, what if the Mega was already out and that could have been a Shunda?
Oh my god.
Or a shiny 98.
That would have been crazy, yeah. But that is the event. That's one thing for sure. Again, just short and sweet. I'm sure Chris is gonna love talking about this one.
Yeah, definitely excited for the fairy event, but kind of fairy-esque. The February 2024 community day is going to be Chansey. We like calling it the ultimate gaming community day because somebody locally likes to put all the Blissies and Chanseys in the gyms.
In the internet, we have a guy called the cruise ship, and he hates Chansey to the max.
Oh, so it's like jump scaring him. Mm-hmm. That's funny. But yeah, the little leak that happened earlier this year is almost true. But at the same time, like people thought it was going to have counter, egg bomb, something. It does not, but we're going to talk about that when we get to it. So Sunday, February 4th, 2024, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Still getting used to saying 2024.
I know, right?
The featured Pokemon is Chansey, believe it or not. The featured attack, Evolve Chansey, up to 5 hours after the event, which I would recommend instead doing it during the event a lot of times, to get a Blissey that knows the charge attack Wild Charge. Weird, but, whatever. So, 100 power and guaranteed to decrease the user's defense in trainer battles, and then 90 power in gyms and raids. The reality is there's not really a lot or, really like any situations you're going to want Wild Charge. I think this is mostly to get extra large candy.
Also, Blissey is really not the ones that you really want for GPL.
Nah, that's true.
You want Chansey. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like, why even have it if you can just have the pre-evo? Like, even having like really good Chansey for GBL still just changes the meta in a lot of ways,
Yeah, I kind of thought, maybe they'll surprise us and Chansey will also get Wild Charge. But even then, I don't know how much, because like one of the first things I said was, how much is it going to flip up the matchups with like things like Skarmory, water types like Poliwrath that are out and about right now. Mm-hmm. But, we'll see. I kind of doubt it's going to do anything. It does a lot worse for Blissey, I'll say that much.
I know,
from
right?
what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, you could at least change in, Hyper Beam for like Wild Charge, so you get to those kind of a little bit faster.
I'd say the only good thing it has going for it really is you're not going to get as much farm from people. Like people aren't going to be able to farm you down as much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like using a shadow. That
Yeah.
that's my point of view. But the community day special research story for $1. Uh, Apparently they do not have a special name for this, or the equivalent pricing tier in your local currency. You'll be able to access the Chansey Community Day exclusive special research
They
story.
kind of gave up on the names too, you know,
Yeah,
since the beginning of the year.
they could have just copied one of their old names and like named it like Exciting Event or something. You're welcome, Niantic.
We got Expedition right now, so what's the difference?
That's true. That's true, actually. Tickets aren't live right now, but they're probably going to be live, if not the day before, the day of. So, keep your eyes out if you actually
Usually the
want it.
ticket is like out like 2 days before the event starts, and we still have like a full month worth of stuff happening. So
Yeah. And don't forget, you can gift it if you want to. Uh, but yeah, other than that, the event bonuses, the things, we're probably going to be most looking forward to during this. 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. 1/4 hatch distance when eggs are placed in incubators during the event period. So as soon as the community day starts and you start seeing Chanseys, pop them in. 2 times chance for trainers level 31 and up to receive candy extra large from catching Pokemon. Lure modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours. I do want to mention really quick while it's in my head. Make sure to mega something like Mega Lopunny to capitalize on that candy extra large for Chansey and Blissey. Incense, excluding daily adventure incense, activated during the event, will last for 3 hours. Take a few snapshots during the community day for a surprise. The magic number is 5 for that. And then 1 additional special trade can be made for a maximum of 2 for the day. And, you can do that after the community day. So don't feel like you're rushed or anything. And then trades will require 50% less Stardust. And then Happiny has a chance of hatching from 2 kilometer eggs obtained during February Community Day. And then Happiny that hatch from these eggs will have the same chance of appearing as a shiny Pokemon as Chansey that appeared during February Community Day. So that's probably going to be the chase, honestly, now that I think about it.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, Getting that shiny Happiny. So I'll be looking forward to that because I don't think I have that yet. But while most of the bonuses are only active during the 3 hour period, the bonuses that are active from 2 to 10 p.m. are going to be the trading ones. So, don't feel like you need to trade during the community day. I'd say trade right after you stop seeing Chanseys is probably the best time. And
true.
then eggs. We already mentioned, but, Happiny is going to be in 2 kilometer eggs. And then bonus raid battles after community day. This is one I'd really recommend having more trainers for because
Oh God,
Chansey's going to be rough. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Uh,
you definitely don't think you can take it down by yourself.
a 4-star, yeah, because even 3-star Chansey is rough, honestly.
Yeah. So basically, if you are thinking of doing some after the community day hours and everything, just make sure you do have a good raid group with it.
Yeah,
But if you already play community day, there really is no point to it.
that's true.
I do say that the addition of the 4-star it actually does help out a lot of trainers who actually don't have the chance to talk about it.
Me.
Chris included. So it's definitely something that is beneficial. It's just an extra added thing. Kind of wish it was a little less more prevalent, or maybe just a little less hours, really, because all the way until 10 for the race to actually be appearing and everything. I feel like it's just a little too much, Maybe give it like 2-3 hours at best instead of like, almost 4 hours in between.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say because like I'm thinking about the people that only have like one gym nearby.
True.
But like for us that, if we go downtown or, into the city, we see like, 8 to 12 gyms and, like 10 of them have a 4-star pretty much, at any given moment. Uh, it'd be decent if it was like, a half chance of them like being there like the whole time or something. But it is rough for the people in rural areas. I'd say that only have one gym. I'd feel kind of bad if they didn't have a 4-star because of that. That's the only thing I'm thinking. But I appreciate it just because on Saturdays I work, so I'm not able to really capitalize on getting a decent shiny or any really. Because at least this rally day, I only got one shiny because I barely got out in time to play a little bit, and then I was able to get some from the Dart Trick raids afterwards. Uh, but yeah, speaking of 4-stars, uh, so from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. After the 3-hour community day ends, you'll be able to do the 4-star raid battles of Chansey that are going to be hosted for 30 minutes each. At least they have a shorter timer. I will say that.
True. I mean, at least that's not something that everybody has to do or something like that. But you're right. If people who actually don't have the chance to do things during the time of community day and actually helps them out until like way over past the raid hour timing, it does help a lot. Although I'm kind of like surprised that every time we have a good community day, you're working, and when we have some community day that nobody cares about, you're not working.
Yeah, it's just my luck.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I get lucky, but
True.
yeah.
To just really finish up on this, if you do the raid battles, you actually get the chancey that has the same odds as community day for 30 minutes. So just gotta move on real quick on that, just because I feel like everybody knows what's going on anyways. Field research, it's community day 3 field research. Pokeballs, Ultra Balls, Great Balls, Chansey encounters, Stardust. This is your chance to get Shandos that way, but showcases, of course, it will be Chansey or even Blitzy. I don't know. Web store bundle, 120 Ultra Balls, 15 Pineapple Berries, 6 incubators, and 1 incense for $10. I'm always skeptical when it comes to actually buying Ultra Balls, so I never really buy those unless it's like a super amazing deal or something like that. Same for the in-game bundles, $13.50 for 50 Ultra Balls, Super Incubators, or at least 5 Super Incubators, Elite Charge DM, and 5 Lucky Eggs, $4.80 for Ultra Balls, Incense, 3 Super Incubators, and Lore Module. So stickers, and then of course you can actually look for the map if you're looking for trainers to play around the world. But yeah, I mean, am I excited about this? I mean, I'm I think a little more excited than the actual Porygon Community Day Classic. But both of them are kind of like they're just there. Like, I'll play at least one of them. I just don't know if I really want to play the entire event, Chansey and Happiny and Blitzy have been out for a while. Their Shinies has also been out for quite a bit of time. It's basically one of those community days where you're like, okay, it's gonna be like a one and done kind of deal if you haven't had the shiny. Although speaking, to the perspective of new players, this is a great chance for a lot of them. Great chance, see, that's not what he did there. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm still skeptical about this one. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if it's gonna really change anything at this point. It's just one of those like, we get it out of the way so we get the good ones afterwards, Any more thoughts, Chris?
Yeah, it's not the craziest, but I'm definitely gonna want to get some extra larges for this guy.
I know Ken would. Ken is gonna go ham for the 3 hours and probably more.
Yeah, plus every community day is a Shundo chance, even if it's not your favorite Pokemon.
We're looking at you, Ultimate Gaming. So, that is Chansey Community Day Classic. Or Classic, not even a Classic. It's actually on Community Day. I guess it goes with the theme of pink for the February, but Actually, it's also a Legend Arceus. Remember Legend Arceus, whenever you actually took damage, the Blissey just come over and heal, and it looks at you instead of running around. That's an interesting mechanic, but I guess that's another reason why they picked it. We're continuing the lore, y'all. Anyways, we got a very exciting news coming up, actually, because we kind of knew this was happening. It was just a matter of time when they were going to announce it. So, The origins forms of the Alga and Palkia has emerged into Pokemon Go, bringing almighty adventure effects. So I'll let you guys watch a quiet little video here. We got origin for Dialga looking at you, then Palkia origin form looking at you again. Simulated game for it, of course. They just go ahead and do their moves or whatever, but that's about it. Road of Time, and then what's the other one? I think it's like Special Rent.
Yeah, Spatial Rent. Yeah.
So trainers, seek out all Pokemon. Origin form Dialga and Palkia has been discovered in Pokemon Go, and trainers can encounter them for the first time during space-time's anomalies in Pokemon Go towards Sinnoh. The arrival of these legendary Pokemon across time and space in Pokemon Go have introduced a brand new phenomenon, adventure effects. Adventure effects are temporary bonuses to help you on your Pokemon Go adventure. Activate them by powerful Pokemon's attacks that may be used outside of battle. So again, this is not raid battles, PvP, or anything. This is outside the battle. This is the overall effect. Adventure effects have been reported to occur when Origin Form Dialga uses Road of Time, and when the Origin Form Palkia uses Special Rain. Where is Dialga? Anyways, with the latest revelation, who knows what the adventure effects may discover in the future. So it looks like they're actually planning to do this kind of thing with other Pokemon too, which is kind of cool. So when can we encounter them? So just like we said, Pokemon Go Sinnoh Tour is been happening pretty soon. Actually, we're almost a month away now. Actually, so that's pretty cool. Trainers with so you'll be able to get them during the actual Sinnoh Tour, especially the in-person one. Traders without an active Pokemon Go Sinnoh Tour Los Angeles tickets or citywide gameplay add-on can participate in Origin Form, Dialga, and Palkia raids, but they won't be able to encounter a shiny one or one that knows the signature attack until Pokemon Go Sinnoh Global. So just to make sure anybody who's actually listening to this, you can probably get the ticket for Los Angeles or the citywide gameplay add-on to participate, but you still will not be able to encounter either a shiny one or is actual has any of the signature moves when you actually do remote raids. So if friends around the world or friends who are LA actually inviting you to this kind of thing, cool, but you won't be able to actually acquire them the way that you need to. So kind of like, it makes sense. They kind of want to push like the bandwidth of people who are actually getting remoted in when they're doing this kind of events. We actually felt that in the Hoenn Tour when the event really wasn't working for the first half of the day. So this is kind of like discouraging some people to actually not have to do so many remotes. I'm pretty sure people will still remote this regardless of how it may look like. But
yeah, Hondo.
But not being able to get the shiny or the special move, it kind of blows in the end of the day. But you still get the chance to do it in global, so it's not kind of one of those things. Again, I wasn't really thinking, although I don't know, I'm still FOMOing about this. I wasn't really thinking of going to LA anytime soon, so I'll be missing on the in-person, so hopefully everybody has some fun, unless Niantic wants to talk about it. Come on, Niantic. Anyways. Do it, you cowards. Anyways. What is the adventure effects? So, just like I mentioned, it has a special randomness in the game when you use the attack. So it says right here, the Road of Time. Trainers who encounter and defeat Dialga, have a chance to catch one that knows the charge attack Road of Time. Keep in mind, it says have a chance to catch one that knows the attack. Would this mean that not all Dialgas or Origin Dialgas will have this? I don't know. It's kind of like weird, but I feel like if you just do the remotes, it's gonna be weird. So what's going on? Trainers can activate the adventure effect associated with Road of Time by using 5,000 Stardust and 5 Dialga Candy distortion time for 6 minutes and pausing the timer of the following items: Incense, Daily Adventure Incense, Lucky Eggs, and Star Pieces. You can extend the timer of Road of Time adventure effects in increments of 6 minutes by using more Stardust and Dialga Candy. The timer can be extended up to 2 hours each time you tap use, and you can tap use again to add an additional time up to 24 hours. Once Road of Time ends, the timer or any active item will continue to count down. Road of Time cannot be active at the same time as any other adventure effect. Let's discuss a little bit how this works. basically, if you have a daily adventure instance, a lucky egg, a star piece, or any of the things that actually, are active at the time of, they have a timer usually when that happens, and you activate Roar of Time throughout this, those timers will pause for an additional 6 minutes or so. However, you can add up to 2 hours every time you do that. That means you actually put a lot of candy and a lot of Stardust into this type of event, or I'm sorry, this type of effect. And you can pause it for a full 2 hours, plus the additional 30 or so minutes that you have from those special effects. So you can even see it right here. The effects are actually paused. They even show a Galarian Moltres.
Yeah, for sure.
And this can also be paused for a full on 24 hours. Oh my God, that's a lot actually. That's a lot to digest when it comes down to it, especially because they give us like the whole 24-hour thing.
Yeah, so what this is telling me is I need to pump my Dialga full of rare candies.
Basically. Yeah, if you have extra rare candy to spare and you don't have a lot of Dialga candies, this will be the opportunity for you to actually use it. Let's be honest. Let's be honest right here for the more casual player, even for us, when it comes down to this kind of thing. Will we want to actually run the daily adventure instance for 24 hours straight? How many chances of adventure can you really get there?
Dude, I wonder how long the adventure incense thing would be if you caught every single Pokemon that you possibly could for 24 hours.
I don't even want to know. I'm sure somebody's gone into though.
Yeah. 3,000 Pokemon caught. Oh my gosh.
You're gonna have to do a lot of walking too, because remember the adventure instance only is effective when you're walking or moving.
Yeah.
So definitely a kind of interesting effect. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. Let's say you're actually, wanting to grind for a full hour or something. You activate the daily adventure instance. You want to get more Galarian birds. You really want to grind them out. I mean, you can also not get anything for 24 hours. That would be crazy. But if you activate it for like an hour or so, it kind of makes sense to say, okay, yeah, I'll do like an extra 30 minutes on the timer for me to actually have, my daily adventure happen for 45 minutes or something like that. And, my lucky egg and star piece and all that. It kind of works. It kind of does work. It's an extended gameplay to your already established gameplay, if you know what I meant. Especially if you're like really hunting like for experience and Stardust, this actually really helps out a lot in that sense. But you also got to know that the daily adventure doesn't actually correlate too much to some of the events out there, so you may not get the event spawns when you use it, aside from the birds and all that stuff. I don't know. I would really want to try it. I don't know if I actually want to walk more than 2 hours with this kind of thing, but
So I think I see why it says may have the moves.
Yeah. But I think any Dialga with the Roar of Time really actually.
Yeah, I think like Spatial Rend is cool.
Well, let's talk about Special Rends before you actually get that opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
So Special Rends is the charge attack for Origin Form Dialga or Palkia. But of course, the effects that we'll have. So trainers can activate it with the same amount of Stardust and Palkia candy, so 5,000 Stardust and 5 candy, to the store space for 10 minutes and allowing for encounters with wild Pokemon at an increased distance. You can extend the timer all the way to increments of 10 minutes by using more Stardust and candy, and the timer extended up to 2 hours each time, just the same way, up to 24 hours. Once it ends, everything will go back to its normal. And then it says Special Link cannot be activated at the same time as any other effect, just like always. So let's say you're playing Community Day and you activate Palkia's ability at this point. You actually get to see way more Pokemon than you would usually see, just because the radius of your character will actually be increased thanks to Palkia's effect. Is this really helpful? Yes, because if you're actually a grinder like ourselves and we want to get as many chances as possible to get a shiny or so, this kind of actually makes sense to actually do. Community days and having the pocket candy and all that stuff will actually still be a little bit dreadful. However, if we're walking and just counting as many as possible, that actually really helps out a lot in those kind of events, you know? Or if you're really hunting down some stuff, let's say, you know, an event that actually has a rare shiny that you really get and you don't actually see all the mini spawns unless you actually walk everywhere. This can help out, really. I'm actually excited about this one a little bit more, but just mostly because Dialga's ability, even though I like Dialga more, trust me to say that, only helps out on daily adventure. This is for me because experience and experience or Stardust have technically, I mean, I already have a lot of that. This is also really a good way for people to really use their Stardust for the very first time. Because I know a lot of people don't really use their Stardust unless it's GBL or something like that. I know, right? And right after that, actually, you can encounter them on the abnormalities in Pokemon Go Sinnoh Tower. Trainers in the global one will have a chance to encounter these Pokemon with their signature attacks. Their version of the event would you choose will affect those chances. So you can ride both, but I think getting the shiny and the special move will be depending on the version. So trainers who choose the Diamond version will encounter Origin Form Dialga the most Roto time, and then those who choose Pearl version will encounter Palkia with the no special range. So wait, does that mean that if you choose one or the other, you're not gonna get the other one though?
That's what it's saying.
Oh,
That's
God.
what it's saying. So like, if you have to choose the diamond version to get those bonuses. So I guess they're not letting you get both bonuses. And what I'm curious about is, what if I use a charge TM, the elite charge TM on Palkia? Would I not still be able to get Spatial Rend and then unlock that ability too, like later on?
It says right here, at this time, Origin Form Palkia or Dialga will be unable to learn Special Rent or Roto time via any TM.
Ooh, that is rough. Mm-hmm. I am happy it says, it does say at this time though, right?
Yeah. So it's a possibility we'll be able to do it in the future.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen that Palkia has going for it though is what Ken said, where the Go Plus gonna be going ham. Like yes, a really big like area to click on is great, but I think the bonuses for Dialga are just like too good. Between the adventure incenses in general, and just the Stardust and everything. I really don't think Palkia has anything on Dialga for this.
So, okay, so I'm going to just make one quick point. This is actually choosing how you want to play the game. You definitely want to choose what's more beneficial for you depending on where you are in the game right now. Let's say it's somebody who's level 40 all going to level 50. Whoever wants to grind this for Dialga and have the ability to, you know, pause the Lucky Eggs, pause the Stardust, and even the lately Adventure Instance or regular instance at this point, the ability to pause all those items and get the amount of times for those abilities actually helps out a lot of the players out there who wants to level out faster. Now, of course, if it's somebody like myself who already have all the Stardust and all the experience in the world, just because I know that level 60 will be a thing eventually, I'm more inclined to get more spawns just because I'm able to see more during the time of my gameplay. Just for that reason, I mean, I don't think doing as many Dialgas for the special move is more beneficial to Palkias in that regard. Now, don't get me wrong, Dialga is still the most cooler of the two, but ability-wise, in my gameplay, I would be choosing Pearl for that reason. At least in my perspective. Now, if you're more of the other casual player who needs the more experience, you would have picked Dialga because you do get the candy, the Stardust, and all that in the move for that reason. So it's really expanding how the player really gets to choose how you play the game. But you also have to be a little more decisive of what you want to do for both of them. That's how I see it. So I feel like that's what it is. Any more thoughts on that, Chris? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, if you think Palkia might get you more shiny checks because there's some areas that you're not able to check as easily, by all means pick that. But I think the incense and just the bonuses in general, Dialga, I'm gonna be going with Dialga personally.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep an eye on technically the live event and see how they pan out when it comes down to choosing each one of the other versions. But this is also, they're not giving us a chance to really change forms with any of the ones that we have already. So this is technically the same treatment that Origin Form Giratina has, which will be at two different times, two different ways of rating them. Now, when they do come back, if they do come back at some point in the future, be able to rate them without their special moves is kind of gonna be like a gut in the gut. But again, you need the candy and everything for the ones that you already have. I'm definitely wanting to look for the Hondas for this. I'm super happy they're finally gonna come out. It's just one of those things that are like, okay, it has the same treatment as Dialga, or I'm sorry, has the same treatment as Giratina at this point. So you're gonna have to rate a lot if you really want two different types of Hondas at this point. So,
That's
and I
true.
still need Dialga's Hondo, but anyways,
I am glad that they have the shiny chance too,
yes.
because if they didn't, this would kind of be lame.
Also, where's Giratina in all this? Anyways, especially because he should have technically another power for it to ourselves, but we'll see how it goes. Roro Time has a trainer battles of 150 and gyms and race 160. Special Ren has a power of 95 in trainer battles, and then gyms and race have 160 power. So it's still pretty powerful moves. It says right here, Smeargle that appears via surprise encounter in snapshots can learn attacks from the Pokemon they appear with, but Smeargle cannot learn Rototan or Special Rent. Okay, so you really had to put that in there. We already knew this was going to happen anyways. Also, before we actually forget, because I know that somebody put it out there. Hold on, let me... Oh, man, who was the one who did it? So I'm going to just find Sinotor on Twitter real quick. Okay, so just a little more information about the event itself and a little more news about the details of Sinogo Global and all that. The shiny debuts for the Global will also be Hisuian Boltor and Hisuian Quillfish. Their shiny forms will be available out there for everybody now. When we do our party play, we'll be able to encounter Regigigas, or at least have tasks to be able to encounter Regigigas during party play. So, Chris, we're going to do party play. You're going to call off of work, and we're going to play all weekend. So, that's not even an option, brother. You're happening. So, during routes, if you do a route while playing throughout the event, White Stripe Basket Legion debuts while walking on routes. Also, increased chance of shiny Hisuian Bolter, Hisuian Quillfish, Carnamite, Pachirisu, and Chatot from X. It says 1-star race for Geometal, Lagoon, and Ancient Groove will be the Hisuian starters. 3-star race from the Lagoon and the Ancient Groove will also be the Hisuian starters in their final form. More chances on fight, or actually, Hisuian Bolter and Hisuian Quillfish will be 5kx during the event too. Wild Spawns will also have Hisuian Sneasel for the Geometrical Lagoon, I guess. And this is global. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, that is global. So basically during the rotation hours. And then Wild Spawns for Ancient Groove will have Hisuian Bolter for that reason. So a little more information, a little more stuff, and more shinies to really talk about when it comes down to the Sinotaur. And this is global, by the way, guys. So, yeah. Again, it's gonna be a little interesting to really talk about how things are gonna go between the Dialga and Palkia. I'm really excited for both, regardless. I definitely, as a shiny hunter, as a Shundo hunter, or a Hondo hunter, I definitely want Hondo over both if I can get them, even if they don't have their special moves. Even if I don't get to check to get the special move. However, I may look into more just. In my opinion, my gameplay, once again, Palkia feels a little bit more as a shiny hunter for that reason. Especially since I really don't need much of that other one, aside from the daily adventurances. So it wouldn't be bad to get both at some point. I'll go ahead and trade with Chris. How about that?
Yeah.
That's the best ones, right, Chris?
Trade me what?
You get Dialga and I get Palkia, and then we'll trade. Just we'll do as many as we need to.
You know, that's not a bad idea. You figure out who's picking Palkia and just trade for one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is Niantic gonna say? You cannot trade this Pokemon.
You cannot send it to home, but you can still trade them with somebody. So
Interesting.
that's actually
not a bad idea.
that is actually a very good idea. I actually didn't think about it until this then. So yeah, I guess I'll pick Pearl. You pick Diamond, which actually it's actually like breaking tradition for me too, though, because I love Diamond a lot more though.
I will say one of the things that they might do is not let you use the bonus off of the move unless you chose it. That's the only thing that's popping in my head right now.
I don't think they'll like limit us that
so?
way. Yeah, I don't think they'll limit us that way. If you find a way to really are able to use either one, you just have to have the ability to have either one. So I'll do all the Dialga raids, I'll do all the Pika raids that I can. I'll get as much candy, hopefully get a few with, the special move, and then we'll do some lucky trades, brother. That's all we gotta do. And once I got one that I'm able to use, even though as long as it has the move, I should be able to use the effect anyways.
That's what I'm hoping. Part of me thinks Niantic's gonna block it somehow, but I don't know. I think that might be good.
Yeah,
might be good based on just trading it.
Just imagine Palkia's effect with a Mega Evolution, and then just like go ham.
It's interesting to me too, though. In the videos they showed it, they were also walking it. So,
all right,
I am curious about that, but I doubt you have to walk it.
Let's do one quick speculation, because they do say in the blog post that this adventure effects will actually be, more discovery in the future. Who knows what more we discover? So, if we do get Giratina's adventure effect, what would it be? What would actually be for the actual event, or for the actual effect?
You get sent to hell.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, we can.
The distortion world.
Here's the thing: if we going by lore, and let's say we're in the same position as what's the enemy in Diamond and Pearl? I don't remember at this point. Team Galaxy. And
Team Galaxy,
Cyrus. So let's think that, in a sense, Cyrus gets possession of this effect. Maybe it will spawn different types of Pokemons when you activate it, or maybe, they reverse the types of spawns from a different time period. I don't know. It kind of just feels like there's more to it in the end. And unfortunately, Giratina is kind of getting the end of the stick. Because if I know how they did the Hoenn tour, Giratina will only be spawning probably after the event ends. So that way you can complete your Pokédex that way.
It definitely gives you a reason to re-raid Pokemon if they give them bonuses onto their special moves, like just to grind the candy.
Yeah. I feel like
I do like that aspect of it.
And somebody did mention that's like the best way about it. This is our way in Pokemon Go to really have abilities in the game.
That's fair.
That's fair. In some ways. But I mean, we're using the moves.
You power up this kind of bonus on Badoo for Rattata to get pickup as an ability.
I know, right? Oh my goodness. I don't know. So many possibilities come from this actual feature. I hope it's not a one and done. The Megas and the Primals actually do wonders when it comes down to their own abilities.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're thinking ahead. They're thinking outside of the box and be like, instead of giving us the chance of be we'll see more dragon types or distort the spawns, and then they'll turn more into the actual ones from the Pokemon or something. I'm actually happy that this is something that expands the gameplay of the player in some way, shape, or form in the end.
Yeah, this is definitely cool.
Yeah, so we run a little bit long on that, but I mean, there's definitely some amazing news regardless of how it may be. So be ready for the Go Tours. There's definitely some hype here and there. Real quick, we'll just get into our 1 minute sleep news right here. We have been some announcements real quick on sleep. We do have a new research area coming. What's it called again? Luckless. Luckless
Oh
Lake or
my
something.
gosh.
I know, right? While Chris looks that up, this area will feature Pokemons like Dratini, Rolls, and Beware. Aside from the other ones, it will cost 140 sleep styles unlocked before you're actually able to get to this island. So it's still kind of like if you're going slow and steady, keep being going slow and steady on this one. So it's kind of cool. New Pokemons, 3 new Pokemons added to the pool. Dratini is definitely a fan favorite. Drowse is a fan favorite in their evolutions because it has Gallade and Gardevoir when it comes down to, and Stuffle just because it's cute and a nice looking
Yeah,
sleeping style.
people are already saying they want to see that Dragonite on the belly.
Jesus. Yeah, I kind of want to see that too.
It's called Lapis Lakeside.
Yes, Lapis Lakeside is the brand new research. We're also getting a special 2-week research event in Green Isle to be able to encounter these Pokemons and get some insights for them. So if you are thinking that you haven't unlocked the final, Snowdrop or even getting the 240 for the new island, I do suggest just go to Green Line for those areas, get as many sleep stats as you can, get those encounters, hopefully get a shiny. That's the best one about it. So really excited. I'm really excited that Pokemon Sleep is still going up with its updates and giving us really more to do than anything. Of course, the level cap will be insane, or at least the RP is going to be insane in those islands.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're finally getting a Dragon type.
Aside from Altaria?
Oh shoot! Oh my gosh! Yeah, I actually didn't realize Altaria was counting towards that. I'll be real. I'll be real.
Well, mostly because like the berries that you actually have in Snowdrop. What are the berries actually? I don't remember this one. I haven't been in a while.
I know Rost from like Sfeel.
Yeah. Regardless of maybe it's still exciting that Pokemon Sleep really has some cool updates. I mean, I already have my sleep stuff going through, so we're going in there.
Yeah, they're keeping the events flowing just like Pokemon Go.
Real quick, we'll get some PvP goodness. Get right, here we go. Who? Haven't really done GBL in a while anyways, guys, so I'm sorry. I really want to give more information about that, but I mean, I really just don't have the motivation to play it, especially since I'm doing all other things out there these days. Anything for you, Chris? Any GBL?
Yeah, I've done a small amount. The more I do, the less like I play. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because like I've been pushing for rank 20, just so I can get those legendary encounters. But the higher I get, the more I lose. So it's
been a slow
rough.
grind for you too, haven't it?
Yeah. I actually enjoy the little cups just because they seem to go by faster, and there's less, in my opinion, there's less chance of running into something that's like chunky or has a lot of debuffing moves because I'm not a big fan of those.
Yeah.
Like Pidgeot with Feather Dance and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like running Talonflame and Giratina in Ultra League. So I've been doing decent in Ultra League, but I definitely do not max out my battles.
Yeah, no, definitely one of those things in the other day. When it comes down to the Play Pokemon circuits, let me just check real quick who was the last winner of the regionals I think we had earlier this weekend. Portland, yes, we had Portland regionals last weekend. Just want to make sure if we do have any information on who won actually, because I'm actually kind of like losing information here. Let me go to Play Pokemon Twitter here. Maybe they'll have more information. Yes, so the 2024 Portland Regional Championships has crowned a new North America Regional Champion. Congratulations to the trainer who showed their best last weekend. So is this Go or this is... I'm not sure. But congratulations to AB Hinaf.9. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. We also have Lexicon BGC for the VGC, I'm guessing, and then Jonan909 in the TCG. So congratulations to all the players out there. Definitely there's definitely way more regionals and internationals to really go through. So if you want to be the very best, go ahead and sign up. Little by little, we're getting the more play Pokemon events for Pokemon Go in local stores. Nothing around our area, unfortunately, just because I don't think there's many interested in Pokemon Go in our area, or at least PvP when it comes down to it. But even for Raid Hour, actually, Raid Hour, we had a lot of people. We actually had a full community out there for the Raid Hour this weekend, or this week, so it was nice. So that case may be. Go ahead about it. All right, I think that's it, Chris. I think we cover everything we can. Anything else?
I think that's everything.
Yeah.
You know, a lot to look forward to, especially Sinnoh. I'm really excited for all that.
I'm starting to get more excited. I looked at tickets and they're still expensive, so I'm not going to the live one. Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for everybody for listening to the podcast. We appreciate you guys being on our live stream here at the Pure Lighter. Twitch.tv. Thank you so much. But if you want to listen us to in any podcast services feed, we are in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and now Amazon Music. Many more always to be. If you can leave us a review, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Follow our social media, myself at Pure Lighter Go, Pokemon Trigger Please for Chris here. Purified Podcast for anything Pokemon Go related news, although I gotta update that every other day. You can also email us anything to the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you check us out. Of course, just send us something, guys. I mean, we would love to hear from you guys. Join our Discord if you haven't yet. We always post things there if we need to. And then, of course, don't forget to check us out at the purifiedpodcast.com, the Professor Network. With that being said, Chris, take us away for the night.
All right. It's been a lovely week in Pokemon Go. A lot of shinies to be had. We're just getting into the new year, and honestly, it seems like it's going to be a good year in Pokemon Go. So I very much hope you guys are looking forward to the Year of the Dragon. So get out there, get playing, and we'll catch you during the Sinnoh event when that eventually happens. So peace out, guys. See you guys next week.
Keep purifying them, everybody, and we'll see you guys next time.